Talking about, sorry, talking about time and space, there was this interesting thought that it came to me. Where do you find watermelons, mangoes, monsoons, summer, night, light? In Kerala. No, in Payal Kapadia's filmography. all your films have got these terms, these words in their titles, right?
It's becoming a problem, these long titles, because everybody complains that they don't remember it doesn't fit on the poster. Now I have to think of some cool, short titles.
But does this actually reflect, you as a human being, how you revere nature, or how you seamlessly blend human lives into, the wonders of nature, or probably how helpless we are in the arms of nature and happenings around us?
I think, I'll be honest. It's not that. I think that all these things are very much part of our daily life. And that is why it's in my films. Like, I made a whole film on a pressure cooker, a rice cooker. So for me, very daily things are what excite me. And I think that our lives are, actually that is something also I learned from my mother. Because, she used to say, you don't need to look for inspiration. Everything is inspiring. You will see even in, just the way this flower is today, or this plant is, or how we meet somebody outside and we have a chaya with them and we will have some discussion, and that can be a film. I was just thinking yesterday, I was walking through the area outside Tagore, and somebody should make a film about this festival, about how you meet different people, and it would be such a nice film and give such a wonderful sense of the zeitgeist and about young people today here and all the contradictions that exist in our society. Everything can be a film. I wish I had listened to my professor at that time. Oh, he's not here anymore.
You write all your films, right?
Yeah, with help.
With help. So, what's the process like? You write your own draft and then you go and release it.
Own draft? Yeah. I had 25, 30 drafts. So that is something that I really enjoy to write. It's my favorite, one of my favorite things to do. So, and we all know that writing means rewriting. So I spend a lot of time writing, and I have very taskmaster producers like Ronogi, who's my DOP and producer. He will say, this is not good, again. So, and even when I was a student in FTI, for some reason I was the one student who will always get redo. They will be like, what have you done? You didn't understand, you do it again. So, but I think all that, it helps slowly, but it's okay.
Say something about that music track. But still. That Ethiopian musician, she died?
She died last year. She was 93, 94. I don't know if everybody's seen the movie, but even...
OST is also out.
Yeah, OST is out. You all listen to the OST. We have used one music from this Ethiopian nun. She passed away last year. She was in her 90s. And actually I didn't know her music. My editor Clemo introduced me to her music, and it was just amazing because it has a kind of deceptive simplicity, but such a flair that it made me feel very light, it has a romantic feel to it. So I felt that I will use it as a leitmotif for the love story in the film. So whenever the couple comes, you will hear her music there. And if you like this track, she's got a lot of music that she left behind. And each track is more inspiring. The names of the tracks again are very simple things, like why are you crying? Or something like this. Yeah, after do. It will be like this. So, I don't know, I felt some connection to it. And the other music is by a musician from Kolkata, Topshe, who's also music I find very melancholic and I connect to it a lot. And Topshe fans are out here. So do check out his music also. I wanted to use some like 80s synthy feeling. And there's no logic, I just loved it. So I went with it. So I asked all these deep questions as well because you're like, I just tell you. But you have to think of some intellectual answer.
Coming to actors, how do you, think about being with them? Like,
Divya has to answer that question.
Not your question, so that Divya can cover it. So, like, yeah, okay. So, are you, a little bit, but still I'm asking for the purpose of, doing workshops or lots of rehearsals, that kind of thing. You allow the actors to have lots of inputs in your already structured format.
Actually, we worked a lot together, Divya, Kani and Chaya also. With Divya and Kani we stayed together and we were doing like workshops every day for almost 3 weeks, something like this, on and off with some breaks, and with Vidhu also. And like for me, because of the language thing also is one thing, like how do you direct in a language you don't speak? So the rehearsals were for me also, to internalize the dialogues, to understand what gesture is working with which dialogue. All these things we all work together on that. We will do many scenes which are not even in the script. Like, let's do one scene of Anu and Prabha somewhere else, or Anu and Shia somewhere else, or what will happen when they all go to Parvati's house. And that scene we simply did it, and it worked out so well that we put it in the film. That's why I think of it as a really collaborative process, because sometimes Divya will tell me, and Kani also say, what is this, what have you written, it's really not... Then I say, no, just let's try. Then they will do it and they will make it their own, and then they will only say, it's working. So it was a very good learning for me. It was also the first time I was working so long with actors, so I also needed some more. And so that's why I think that it's all our film, because really they are also authors in that way.
I think that collaboration was very evident at Cannes when when we saw you. We just felt as if it was a girl gang that was celebrating, So all of us could relate with you. Not as filmmakers, obviously, but as the members of the college gang or the girl gang, or that that friendship and that collaborative effort was very visible.
Yeah. And also with my writers, because they too were there throughout with me, and they will be like, it's not working. Robin is very strict like that, so everybody needs them in their lives.
And tell us about the DOP also, because in most of your films, there's a lot of play with light that you do as we see it, I think they used to refer to who painted the girl with the pearl earring? Vermeer as the man who paints with light, So I get reminded of that every time I see, some of those shots of yours. There's so much of, the beauty of light that you actually utilize. So just wanted to know about that.
Wasn't there. Answer the question. Like, actually, to tell you the truth, me and Ronogir are both obsessed with darkness. Because, as the film also says, without darkness you can't see the light. And we like to shoot in a way that we take a lot of interest in also the darkness. I think the darkness is very liberating for a lot of us. And it's actually needed sometimes to have darkness. So we discussed a lot about the light, and we wanted to play with different kinds of the feeling of light, because light makes us feel also differently. So I was thinking a lot about that monsoon light, which is like a kind of, for the filmmakers here, like a skimmer in the sky, which is what we put to diffuse light. And in the monsoon it's like that, na? We have a diffusion. We never see the sharp sunlight. We always see it diffused, and we don't know exactly what time of day it is, because 12 o'clock will also look like 3 o'clock, and that diffusion causes that. So we wanted to work with that in the first half, because there is a kind of feeling about the characters being sort of stuck in a situation, and the monsoon light, I don't know, for us in some way worked with that. And there was the city lights, which I was thinking in terms of Anu, the character's gaze, because she is somebody who is enjoying the city. Like, she can go out, she can enjoy, she can be anonymous. So the city looks better. I always feel this. Sometimes you are in the city, and if you are in a good mood, then it feels very good. You don't mind being stuck in traffic. You are like, oh, nice mood. So everything feels better. You don't mind sitting in the bus even for a long time if you are with somebody whose company you are enjoying. So like that, even the city, which is not that aesthetic or anything, feels better because she's in a good mood. So we wanted to work with light as if it was glowing, like little glow worms in the sky. So he worked a lot on the halation and that feeling, basically like film. In film, when you use celluloid, there is automatic halation that happens. So we tried. No, we didn't have money for film, so we shot digital, and him along with our very talented color grader managed to create that feeling of light that has halation to give more
romantic feel.
And then in the second half, we wanted it to be like very harsh sunlight, like beating down almost, and only when the ladies are together it feels nice. Otherwise, you see that it's bleached out, and it's got this harsh feeling, murky, as if it is kind of dirty. Sometimes when it's so hot, you do like this, and it feels greyish. So we had thought about all these things. How much it comes to we have to see.
Definitely, you're right. That's why we noticed it. So, so much of thought and effort going into every little detail in filmmaking. I think that's what really makes it special. So, kudos to that.
You were mentioning about your city influences in some of the songs like Umkorai and Shandala Akaman, also I know. So all filmmakers, are influencing one way or the other, like to make a film. As you're saying, the city has its own benefits. The ability gives you the power to break chains, kind of. So, yeah.
I really
especially
love
from people coming from small towns and women especially.
You can be anonymous, and there is something about cities. We love them, we hate them, they are complicated, full of contradictions. But I think that I like city films. even amongst Ray's filmography, I like the Kolkata trilogy. For me, are my favorite films. Especially Pratibandhi is. I don't know if you all have seen this movie, but do watch it. It's a really great city film. So, and of course, Chantal Ackerman, who has made a movie called News from Home. It's a kind of a shortish film, and Agnes Varda's film Cleo from 5 to 7. It is a real-time film, so it happens over 2 hours from 5 to 7, and it's a city film. I think so many nice city films are there. Edward Yang, Taipei Story is a great film. All Signing Land films. I think Signing Land came, once here? Yeah. Lucky to be from here.
Talking about Ray's films, Payal, from Ray to Payal, there's been...
Let's not make
Okay, no, I'm just saying, from in that cinematic journey in India, there are very few directors or filmmakers whom the Western audience have accepted hands down, you know, and you are definitely one of them. So, do you think there is a marked difference between, you know, our Indian audience and Western audience from the perspective of storytelling of an Indian filmmaker?
See, even our films don't do very well. You hear about it because you see it in the paper. It's not like it's going against Wicked and getting all the numbers. We are small there also, independent filmmakers, and here also. It's just that we hear about it from the West because it's the only thing that is gone there or whatever like that. So I think Indian audiences are really open. People can watch all kinds of films. We have a long history of so many different, Kerala itself, such a huge body of work of so many filmmakers and so many different states. It's just that now more and more, because of the commercialization of cinema spaces, we don't have access to watch films. Earlier that was not the case. Like, I used to go and hang out for no reason at the film division to see what film is there and something like this.
Your film, because of all these fame abroad, you got a proper distributor.
Yes.
But that's not the case with most of the independent filmmakers.
Yes.
I mean, they are in India and they're a part of it.
And before we used to have, like Doordarshan used to show on Sunday, Saeed Mirza films. Now, there, we don't have that. I think this cinema also is government cinema, isn't it? So I think that, spaces like this, if they are showing independent movies, then people will be like, this is also part of our visual culture. Now it has become like a rare thing, but it's not, actually, they just there, it's just nowhere to show them. So we need to grab back our spaces, because I know that people who come for film festivals are many. There are 13,000 delegates here to this festival. That means so many people are there to watch films only now. There are so many other states, so many other cities. We are there, people want to watch films. I was in Mami also. The line was huge. People are standing sweating outside in the monsoon. And so that there is a dedication for cinema. There is people who want to watch. We just have to have those spaces again, and I think that is really important, and to some extent it is the government's responsibility. And since you are here, I request that you have cinemas where our films can be shown. Even restored classics, like I know that director Arvinda's film has also been recently restored. We should watch these movies restored in 4K. What pleasure! Yeah, so let's have a screening. 1 week, 2 weeks, it should run in the cinemas, no?
That's absolutely well taken, and IFFK as a whole is a part of all the enthusiasm and commitment that we have towards filmmaking. Though I agree with you completely, just to add on to that, in today's era of social media, isn't dissemination and finding an audience for any art form, including film, much easier than what it was years ago? So, how do you utilize that?
I mean, that is the only way we have. I had to join Twitter. I didn't have Twitter. I joined because I was like, please come for my movie. But, okay, so let me give an example of what I learned little bit about how it is done in some other countries which has support. For example, in France, which has a long history of supporting culture and cinema. What they do is that if there is an independent movie that doesn't have money for ads, like I don't have money to put an ad on a bus, for example, then they give a small grant from a body where that money can be spent on your publicity. So I had hoardings and all. I didn't have it anywhere else. Even you go to the PVR now to watch our movie, there is not even going to be a standee. But there we applied for this commission, and it doesn't come from public fund necessarily. How it comes is that if a big movie releases, like let's say Pushpa 2 releases, everybody is making profit. A small percentage tax is levied on that ticket sale of every movie released, and that goes into a fund. Even when my movie is released in France, that ticket tax is levied and put into the fund. Then other people can apply to the same fund for distribution. If we had committees that work this out, it would be a self-sustaining system, and then all independent filmmakers would have the opportunity to apply for these things to, even for making movies. I think we should even include OTT sales in this, and not just Indian movies, international movies. They also come to India. They make a lot of money. They can give a small percentage.
We just talked about the thing which we all talk about. The struggle, you were part of the resistance which was when you were studying, not just in FT, to be frank, like many national public institutions like Assembly Universities getting about that. And we also have an experience of films documenting those struggles, coming to a documentary festival and getting not getting censor exemption, and we were unable to show once. Yeah, 1 year, three films withheld, and some of them went to the High Court. So it repeated again with Arampat Burton's film also being not granted permission. We also don't try for them. What is going on? So all those struggles, once you got this validation, so we think this is the right moment to say that the existence of these spaces are important.
Come on, film festivals are the place of discourse, and they cannot be democracy without discourse. So we must not have censorship. I mean, I don't think we should have it at all, but that's a longer discussion. But definitely not in spaces like film festivals. You all agree?
I think probably we should take some questions from the audience.